Okay, so a little trick maybe is not going to make any spill, any mess. First step, with your hands, unscrew it until it turns without much difficulty, but make sure you don't break loose the bed, the seal, or the oil will start spilling. So just loosen it until, let's try some more. Okay, this should be fine. So it moves, not too difficult at this point, but it doesn't leak oil. Now I'll show you in a moment what's inside this jar. I'm just going to lift the jar until it reaches a top here. This is the maximum. I cannot lift it more. The filter, it's all inside. I'm going to grab the filter, squeeze the jar, and start twisting it to unscrew it fully until it will leak. Let's give it a try. I'm not editing this video. Again, at the end, I'm going to show what's inside the jar. There is a trick. Make sure you keep the jar really horizontal so you don't spill. At some point, the oil will start leaking. Just get a step back. So right now I'm just squeezing on the filter to grab the filter to unscrew it. That's why you want to unscrew it so it's not tight first, and then you can grab it with the jar. And at some point it should become loose, and then what's really important is kind of center the filter inside the jar, so you don't kind of push the jar to one side or it's going to spill by that side, because there's going to be oil spilling from around the filter, not just in center. So that's why the jar has to be all the way up, kind of the lip of the jar, the top of the jar goes past the top of the filter. Okay, obviously, okay, I think I did hear some oil leaking. You don't see much. I'm trying to put my hands away from the camera, but I feel the oil viscosity. That's okay. Okay, I think it's dropping off. Absolutely no spill. I still keep it centered. My hands are clean. I do keep it centered, so it still drips a little bit from there, but this is absolutely zero spill, my friends. And what a mess when actually you don't use this approach. So this is the new filter. I'm going to screw it right away back in place. That's a bit of the gymnastics. I need to push upwards so don't drop it on the floor until it screws in, and there you have it. Woo! Oh boy. Oh boy, there's a little droplet here right there because I didn't center it correctly, but it's absolutely clean. Look at this. And obviously I'm keeping it horizontal. You don't want to spill it. Let me just try to grab the camera film inside at this moment. Let me just so the way you screw this guy in, just kind of turn it. My advice, don't over tighten it because you are going to have trouble removing it from there. Put some oil on the seal, fresh oil as well, but you don't have to really crush it in there. See, I'm going just to use one hand. That's it. That's it. It's not going to drop from there. It's not like this is a rocket engine that vibrates like crazy. Okay, for me this is the very first time I'm doing this, and let me just film the floor, film inside so you believe me. Look at this bad boy, how it sits in there. So this is the floor, perfect pin, and this is what's inside. Wanted to point something. I did drain the oil, drain the sump, and put back the plug in. I think it's a good idea. So sometimes the filter stays too low and you may actually start draining some of the sump, but depends on the car. And this is what's inside. again the jar. This is a yogurt jar, 750 milliliters, but I did film something else before starting, and I need to show you that first. This is the bottle where I recover all the oil from the sump as well, and when you drain it into the bottle, be sure you clamp it well, you squeeze it well, so you don't drop the filter. So let's just give it a try. Again, keep the filter tight. Oh, okay, it's coming from around. A little bit of spill in there. This is how it looks inside. So this is the filter part, and at the bottom I did cut sort of a bottle. So you need to just kind of a pipe, bottle, doesn't matter. It has to be wide enough to support the filter. And the reason for that is once you unscrew it, remember the filter is full of oil. Once you unscrew it, yes, you can sometimes grab it by the sides, but there is a good chance it's going to drop at the bottom of the jar, and it's going to splash everything out of there. The oil, the used oil, that is. The only difficulty you could see in the video is the metal. It's slippery against plastic. So next time I'm going to install this rubber band on the filter, so it's going to get a very nice grip. But remember, you need to break it loose by hand first. Just make sure it doesn't start leaking, but it has to be easy to rotate. Then you go with the yogurt, and I think this one, it's Balkan style. It's delicious. Thanks for watching.